Hey, everybody. How are you? How is everyone this happy Sunday? Let's go Georgia and arrest Wendy. Well, I like them to fire Mike Norvell first. I think that's sooner than later. If you don't live here in town or don't follow college football, then you don't know who Mike Norvell is. But I keep checking to see if he's been fired. How is everybody tonight? Hopefully, good news coming tomorrow morning. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So I'm from Pennsylvania, and Penn State just fired James Franklin, and now all these Knowles, which I'm not one of. I just live here, right? So you follow the team where you live. But I'm a Penn State fan, and all of these Knowles now want James Franklin. Like, why would you want recycled sauerkraut? Like, why would you want that? Nobody wants that. Stop saying it. Stop putting that into the atmosphere. Don't. But apparently, Mike Norvell's out in the morning, so we'll see. I'm going to bed, so I won't know. Like I said, I'm Patty Wilson, and this is Patty's Playhouse. And right now, all we talk about is Jill Estrada and her boyfriend George. Wait, I found his website, so I'm going to show that to you guys first, and then Veriscope. I shouldn't call it Vera. Veriscope has a new video out. Hey, Jules, how are you? Julia, thank you for looking forward to this. I was too. I had a nice, relaxing day though. It was my hair is a little flat, not gonna lie. It rained most of the today, which we needed. We haven't had rain in weeks. Look at that. Jesus. I didn't look at myself before I left the house to come here. I passed the dumpster divers on the way in. So bad. There's a stray hair up there too. Oh. Hi, Debbie Gibby. How are you? She follows Canadian football, aka hockey, and the National Football League. Hi, Chris. I have a standing Sunday night live, so I'm bummed. I will miss this. Wanted to say, hey, Patty and Patty Cakes. Hey, Beach Bum. Hope you're doing better. That sciatica's better. Hey, PJ. Hey, John. Good morning. 2 a.m. here in Scotland. Can't miss Patty and chat. Just posting now. Hello, Caroline. Hey, Susie Q. Hey, Kathleen. Hey, Patty's gang. Good to see your beautiful names. Isn't it nice? Everyone's like, same. Caroline, your example of why Donna is ridiculous thinking she can't get a fair trial in Tallahassee needs it held in a location where people don't know about the murder. This has international coverage. It truly does. She isn't going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. Wendy's not going anywhere. George isn't going anywhere. Mm-mm. Hey, where did I miss? I skipped ahead. I did turn on slow mode in advance of this because they moved it. It used to be where an admin could change the speed of the chat, and it's not the way it works now. You can only change how quickly people can post. So I dropped that to 20 seconds. 20 seconds. So, hi, Kathleen. Hey, Max. See you in 40. Blue River was in here too. Say hi to Blue River, Patty. Hi, Blue River. Hey, Marianne. Hi, Mr. C. Mr. C does a bulk hello. Liz, when is the wench getting arrested? Oh, man, you guys call her all sorts of names. One lady calls her sluts. LSUTT. I'm not the one to ask about this now, Marianne, because I don't think she is. So, just saying. I wonder if W72841 enjoyed her first weekend as a ward of the state. Bet she didn't. Where is she now? She's still in the reception center. Isn't that nice how they call it that? The reception center. Taking her down. She's going to be so famous. I meant to look at this earlier. You know when you order a lot of stuff from Amazon and you never put it together? Because I'm never home. I'm not someone. So that's what I did today. I put a bunch of stuff together. I bought this chest that I could put extra blankets in because, yes, we live in Florida, but I like blankets. And I still have that to put together, but I put everything else together. Where is she now? I have her on the Vine link, so I should. Yeah, she's still at the reception center. Her custody is pending. She's not in confinement, though. Don't you love Florida just giving us all this information? Florida is just a bastion of information. So here it says this is her locale. And this is pending. It will become close. That's what it'll say. Close, CLOSE. Sentenced to life on the big screen. That's not funny. Oh my God, that bitch is gone forever. Sentenced to life. Look at that. My little granddaughter would say, look at that. Yep, big old word. Sentenced to life. Not in confinement. So she's just hanging out in reception, not eligible for a visit. The visitation application is disabled. Oh my God, it's so great. Oh my God. So funny. Hey, Bling, how are you? Hey, PLN315, how are you? Hey, Lori. Oh my God. You didn't steal the jewelry. Dude, did you see it? Hey, Natalie, you were so excited I was doing a live. Looking forward to your lives and Miss Wendy bashing when you're not here. Hi, Susan. Good to see you again. Hey, Frog. It's so funny. I'm sorry. It is just. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Hey, Marilyn. So delicious. Hey. Hi, Patriotic. Hey, Bree. She's a lifer, Penny Packer. Tinfoil wants to call the prison eventually. She's not in her forever home yet. Doesn't she look scary? She does, doesn't she? Does she look like a murderer? Hey, Rebecca, how are you? You're surprised she's not on suicide watch. That shit ain't working now. Suicide isn't working. It's not going to work. That was the pre-sentencing behavior. Now she's kissing ass. How much do you want to bet? It doesn't work now. Patty, did you hear Tamara's comments on STS? She talked to a priest for 3 hours after getting spooked by Harvey the day Dan died. She also bought a gun and moved from Tallahassee. She was at sentencing. I saw her at the sentencing. I did not speak to her. But she sat in the back and kind of tucked her head. She sat behind Harvey, directly behind Harvey. Someone sent me an email, which it's a fair assumption. I mean, these people hired someone to kill someone. And they were concerned because I leave the office here late at night, right? I leave here by myself, and I've invited law enforcement to hang out in a parking lot. And if my vehicle's here, come in and use the restroom or whatever. But if he's gonna hire someone to hit you, they're gonna hire someone to hit you. Harvey has nothing to lose. And that would be the only thing with Tamara or whomever, is that Harvey, who's probably going by Jerome Estrada by now, he has nothing to lose. That way he and his wife, his daughter, can have the same initials, Jill Estrada and Jerome Estrada. I don't see that he has anything to lose. She's not going to be in Homestead. Word on the street is there's another male prison that's converting to female. It's a smaller prison, which would be a benefit to her, but it's nowhere near Homestead. So I'm going to call and verify it tomorrow. But he has nothing to lose. If he wants to hurt somebody, he certainly can. Is there AC in the reception center? Only in the offices. Only in the offices. She's rocking a mullet. You are mad at Amazon right now for not delivering an outdoor trash can, yet claiming it was delivered. Oh, I'm so sorry, Indy Nana. Isn't it quite the picture? I do crack myself up. This is funny. This is some funny shit here. I mean, did we ever, I can only speak for myself, 11 years ago, ever think any Adelson would be arrested and charged and convicted? No. I remember when they arrested Charlie, and I think I was in the radio station when it happened. And I just don't think, I didn't think it would ever happen. And then, we're all chilling out watching Surviving the Survivor after Charlie's conviction. And all of a sudden, breaking news, Tim Jansen's announcing this heifer got arrested. I mean, did we ever really believe that? Where is the reception center? It's in Ocala. It's in Ocala. You are feeling positive about arrest, and I appreciate that. I'm thanking you for your positivity. You live in Texas with a blanket addiction. I do. I like it. No, I don't think it has anything to do with the kids. If that's the case, everybody that has children that's committed murder should sue the state. I mean, no, it's just not how that works. No. Mm-mm. If I were to ever find out that that's how it would work, I mean, that's just unfair to every other person that's ever committed any crime because they have children that they get off. But if there ever was a county that would happen in, it's this one. I guarantee you. So liberal. So liberal. But I don't know why people think that. I don't think that's the case. Mm-mm. She's trash. I mean, they're not coming out and saying that they're not arresting her ever and they're closing the case. That's not going to happen. So I feel like no time like the present. But it's taken, I'm going to go back to Mike Norvell. This town is very different. That man should have been fired the second he got off that plane. I mean, released to industry. But no, they're going to wait another day. That's the town, man. That's this town. It works at the speed of a sloth. Just doesn't work fast. You think she gets arrested by June? You think she gets arrested Thanksgiving? All right. Well, someone needs to write all this down and hold you all to it. Hey, true crime wifey. I didn't read the Epstein book, but I listened to it on Audible, and I suggest you all do. Like, it has, thank you, Debbie Martin, for that, because it has a lot of goodies in it that you don't hear otherwise. I listened to it on the way to Michigan and on the way back. It's a 19-hour Audible. I feel very positive she's getting arrested. Very. Not that it matters, but I just can't see Georgia letting this go, no matter what pundits and others say. I'm hoping so. It's not even just Georgia. It's Jack. It's Jack Campbell. I mean, Georgia can only do so much. I go back to, why did Pat Sanford, did it all take all day to produce that warrant for this woman? Next mugshot, shove a neck tat. You need a wager. She'll get some jailhouse tarts. I don't even know what that means. Wybie says Dan's birthday now after Hanukkah because of her sons. Oh, no. They should arrest her on Hanukkah. Winner of the date of arrest gets a bottle of bourbon. Yeah, that person probably is going to live in like Norway, and I'm not going to be able to afford to send it to him. Brad doesn't think she ever gets arrested. Let's do a poll. Let me go to it. Let's do a poll. You know what? Oh, man. So funny. You click on YouTube proper and you just get all sorts of crap that comes up on my feed. I'll tell you what, it's so funny. Start a poll. Will Wendy get arrested? No. Let's call her. Let's see. Yes. Okay. I started the poll. Started the poll. On arrest month, I did arrest year. I did arrest year. There's so many Jill Estradas on X now. Is she all of them? Yeah. I have a different way of checking. We gotta share notes. Because of the restitution, you feel that way? My inside information told me to be patient. My gut told me restitution. And restitution is not court costs. I don't care where everyone hears it, on Surviving the Survivor. I don't care. It is a completely separate issue. And I think the sentencing got cut off at the end, so you couldn't hear what we heard. Let me see if it did. I thought it got cut off, so you couldn't see when they were talking about court costs. Maybe did it? Did you guys see that? Oh my God, I can't even listen to that woman. Such a cow. I'm looking for the long sentencing link, not the 2-minute let's drill this down thing. Because it was like 2.5 hours. Here you go. Here's Law and Crime has it. Let me get to the end. You got to see it. First of all, Georgia was already packed up, and it was hilarious to me. She was already packed. She was like, I'm out of here. She was so funny.
And that, or is that a separate number?
Listen to this. I'm right at it. Hold on. Hold on.
The second step is whether the trial court decides whether it should impose the downward departure based on the totality of the circumstances. As to both the non-statutory grounds that have been argued and the grounds contained within section 921.0026, subsection 2, subsection B, in reviewing the trial court's notes, what has been argued by both the defense and also as well the court's relying on the record itself, court will find that there is a ground for non-statutory downward departure, but it declines to exercise its discretion. As to the statutory ground, I will find that both the defendant was an accomplice to the offense and a relative minor participant in the criminal conduct. I will find that has not been proven, but in addition to, the court would still decline to exercise its discretion. As to the sentence in this matter, Ms. Adelson, please rise. Level of planning and coordination to bring the murder of Professor Markell to fruition was significant in this case. These were not crimes of chance or opportunity, and these crimes also required you to conspire with your son and others. You certainly can choose to deny your involvement and maintain innocence. The court finds the evidence in this case is clear. You will be sentenced accordingly this afternoon. The jury has found you guilty on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and the court previously adjudicated you guilty as to these same charges on September 4th of this year. On count 1 of the indictment for first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or release pursuant to sections 782.04 and 775.082 sub 1 sub A Florida statutes. On count 2 of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to 30 years in the Department of Corrections that will run consecutive to count 1. The court will also sentence you to 30 years in the Department of Corrections on count 3. Counts 2 and 3 are to run concurrent with each other, but consecutive to count 1. As to the fees and costs, the clerk can please announce those at this time.
$2,100 as a fine pursuant to section 775.083, $105 as the 5% surcharge required by section 938.04, $20 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.06, crime stop trust fund, $3 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.01, subsection 1, criminal justice trust fund, $50 pursuant to section 938.03, crimes compensation trust fund, $225 pursuant to section 938.05, local government criminal justice trust fund, $2 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.15, county criminal justice education, $50 as a court cost pursuant to section 775.083, subsection 2, county crime prevention, $65 as a court cost pursuant to section 939.185, county additional court costs, and $3 as a court cost pursuant to section 938.19, teen court assessment.
Is there any lawful objection by the defense to these assessments?
No, Your Honor.
They will be assessed at this time. The cost of prosecution, the court will reserve jurisdiction on to determine for 60 days. If a hearing is to take place concerning this matter, that will take place at a future time. As the defense's request for the court to make a recommendation to the Department of Corrections to place Mrs. Adelson in a facility near Miami-Dade County, I have no problem making this recommendation. The Department of Corrections will have the final say because this is an administrative matter. I will also recommend to the department that Mrs. Adelson is not to be placed in any unit or facility that would also house Catherine McVanawa. The court did previously award to the state, based on the September 17th, 2024 continuance of the trial, costs that were related to that. Ms. Kappelman, part of what you're seeking to pursue, is that included within that, or is that a separate number?
Are you speaking of the costs that were ordered in Charlie Adelson's trial?
No. The day Daniel Rashbaum withdrew from the case and the trial had to be continued.
Okay.
All costs related to moving witnesses and other matters.
Yes, sir. I don't know the answer to that, but I'll make sure that they're only in there once.
Very well. The defendant is to be fingerprinted, 30 days to appeal. Please file the appeal promptly.
Your Honor, may I approach the clerk? We have put the, I have written.
It's not showing it. Yes, Charlie paid his fees. Harvey not being able to look Tamara in the eyes shows he's culpable. It's right there. Make a t-shirt. You're welcome. A story to tell. You are welcome. But anyway, I just wanted to show that again. It's not here. Here are the court costs. How that lady read it, how the clerk read it, literally in line. 2100, 105, 23, 50, and then it all comes down to here. And there's that thug criminal's fingerprints. See, evil is coming out right in there. Evil. So anyway, it's not restitution. Restitution is completely different. How, Mad Wabbit? When I was little, about 8, my dad had my siblings and me locked up in a police jail cell. We went to a meeting. He was an assistant DA. The jailers brought us snacks. I don't think it's the same thing. You were eating your leftover salad and sucked down some vinegar. I'm not sure Wendy Jo will ever be arrested. I hope I'm wrong. She deserves the same outcome. Yeah, Tamara really was instrumental in those investigations. I saw a video on the Lowell prison that is a one rough prison since 1956. The annex isn't so bad. That's where they have the horses. Was Charlie assessed court fees? Yes. Everybody is. It's automatic. Yeah. He paid his court fees right away. She has to pay for costs when her attorney withdrew from the case. Right. And but that wasn't provided. That is a separate bill. You could see Georgia with that beautiful hair that day. She was so relaxed. You can't see her from where we could see her, but she was already, when she had her hands in her pocket and she was like, Judge, I'll have to get that to you because I don't have it right here. She was already packed up. She was done. She wasn't hanging out. Florida is serious about crime and punishment. Some counties more than others. I'm going to say it again. Do you think Grady Judd or anybody in Polk County would have waited this long? No. Hi, Manira. Hi, my father's alibi. Hi, Nancy. Can you explain her sentence of 30 years concurrent? There's concurrent and there's consecutive. Concurrent means they go at the same time. So you got to start out with life, right? And after that life, the reason they do this is because, say, her life is, say, 100 years. And some reason, some appellate court cuts her life to 10 years. Say she's 25 years old. So now she has 10 years. After that 10 years is served, then comes the consecutive. So the first number 2 charge is consecutive. So now she has 30 years. Number 3 charge is concurrent, means it's served at the same time as number 2. So 2 and 3 are served at the same time because you can only have so many life sentences, right? You can only keep going. So 2 and 3 are concurrent to number 1. So Denise Williams, which is what everyone keeps copying and talking about when they're writing these appeals, Zelford writes these appeals or writes these letters to the judge that are 88 pages long, that Denise Williams' murder charge was overturned, which is true. It's very true. But she still had 20 years for a conspiracy. And the thing about it is, which I was reminded, I said the other night by Greta Van Susteren, that conspiracy continues. So until everyone fesses up, the conspiracy is ongoing. Wendy. Should we say hi to Jill? Should we say hi? I do hope someone shows up somewhere dressed as Georgia in front of her. But anyway, that's the difference between concurrent, which is together, and consecutive, which is one after the other. Life plus 30 like the rest of the club. If this C word is not arrested, there's hope that Charlie or Donna are both turn on her. I mean, Charlie basically turned on his mother when you think about it by not testifying. And in that, what was that, Hub? Some Hub? Is it an online magazine? I'm sorry, I'm yawning. Hub. That he spoke, he did that interview saying Wendy's getting her stuff together and she's going to do the right thing. One recording post-bump, Donna asked Charlie what he spent the $14 on his card for. Right? I don't know what that means beyond that. Oh, on his Raymond. Excellent explanation of the sentences and possibility that the life without parole sentence might change in some cases. Very helpful. Well, thank you. But anyway, it's because of, I mean, Zellman, anything he writes includes Denise Williams inside of it. But Denise Williams had less involvement than Donna Edelson. Okay. A lot less. You didn't know they had Ice Mountain water in Florida. They don't. But you're very clever. I know. I bought it when I was in Michigan. Ohio. I bought it in Ohio. Please get Jillian. Jill Estrada's in the house for sure. Hi, Jill. I know. The DeSantis. I don't even know what that means. Charlie has money and his baby mama Bree is probably topping his commissary off. Is she even out of jail? I mean, seriously. Did you guys see that Jessica Ussery? Everybody wants to make themselves part of this case, right? So Jessica Ussery, let's see if her Instagram's still public. A dumb heifer. Jessica Ussery is that her? No. No, I think she took it down. Is this her? No. She had a Instagram and she had Roman on it, right? And she is the grandmother. It's Jessica Ussery. Maybe it's it 2 S's? No. But she took it down. Anyone see her stuff lately? That was Bree's mother. Don't see her. Let me see if she's on Facebook. And she wrote that letter on behalf of Donna. I could barely talk when she did it. Like I could barely. I'm thinking, you dumb heifer, what are you doing? Mm-mm. She lives in Asheville, North Carolina. Oh, here she is. Found her. It's Jessica Iris. So this is the heifer that wrote a letter. Single again. Shocking. Yeah, she's on Instagram. I forgot the Iris part. These people do really think they're pretty, don't they? You're not that pretty. You're an enabler for murderers. That's what you are. You enable murderers. But who am I to judge, right? I'm judging her. Yeah, there's really no recent photos of Bree on there. Now you know what the mother looks like. Hi, Audrey. Oh, yeah, she's not young. She's not young. She'd be prettier if she wasn't enabling murderers. How old is Bree? Bree's in her 20s, right? Maybe she's 30 now. I wondered how much they paid her for that when they heard it. It had to be. You're about ready to leave the Dolphins, bless your heart. All about keeping those Benjamins. Well, her daughters are drunk. So she probably has Roman all the time. Hey, Jill. I mean, that's just the way it is. She's a drunk. I don't know what she does for a living, but besides, I don't know. I just have nothing nice to say. I really don't. I can't. I was stunned when her name came up. Stunned. Here she looks older. Just I don't want to show Roman's picture. Just trash, you know. You can go look at it herself. She keeps it open. Charlie's ex want to be happy she wasn't next in line. I know, right? No way did anybody pay $1 million. She's the age of Wendy. Oh. All filters, Rebecca says. Nice teeth. Her character is ugly. That's what we're trying to get to. Okay. Bree was 24 at Charlie's trial, so she's a baby. Oh, she's 24 when she got pregnant, so she's in her 30s. Well, we can look up her freaking arrest records to figure it out. I mean, let me give you all a little tip. You just go in here And if they have search right here, nothing. How do you spell Bree? So there's nothing with her daughter's name in it anymore. Nope. Nothing with her daughter's name in it. I wonder where she is. I bet she's, she probably didn't serve any time. She only had a DUI or 3. Let's see. What is this? Somebody mentions Tamara. Tamara needs to definitely be on the state's witness list. Oh, for sure. There'll be a lot of girls under the age of 50 on that witness list. Yeah, she had DUIs. I have to leave because of my name, but go and watch Veriscope. Thank you for introducing me to that channel. We're going to watch it too. I was surprised that Bree's mother spoke as well. Well, I'm sure she's literate. Charlie will make a person drink. June is still, well, I don't know how much of a torch, but it certainly looks like she was. I think Charlie would eventually have Katie knocked off. I'm surprised too. Everyone should have that level of confidence. I just don't like her because she enables a murderer. I don't. No, it doesn't look like that anymore. It looks like she is. Well, her Facebook says she's single. It could be that she's still there. Who is the dark-haired lady, yellow, sitting behind Harvey during the sentence? I have absolutely no idea. I don't know everybody in the courtroom. Don't. Bree is like 33. You think 27 was the max age for Charlie? Well, I wonder what his boyfriend's age is. That's what we're going to watch next. Maybe Donna wrote the mother's statement. They don't even have it on the court thing yet. They don't have all that stuff. They have a list of exhibits, the witness list. That's all they have. They don't have the letters yet. I don't see them. Dr. Graber. Good God. Maybe in the exhibits. Nope. Character letters are not transcribed yet. So hopefully this week or so, though, we'll get more information because to me, this is slower than Charlie's. You found her on Instagram? You love the gossip here. I try to be as accurate as possible. Who was worth more money before the arrest, Harvey? And I wanted to ask somebody, I'm not a dentist, but how is Harvey still paying for this lifestyle? He lives alone. If his mortgage is around, let's just say not even the mortgage. If the HOA is around $4,500 a month and the taxes are like that, so $8,000 a month in HOA and taxes. That's $8,000 a month. And her Social Security is going to be cut off. So he has his Social Security. He only has a pension of his own making. How does he afford to continue to live there and have that mortgage and a home equity line of credit? How? How does he still live in that house? He's going to move soon. He doesn't. I just don't see how I don't see it. I mean, investments, but they lived a big life. They own a property and stuff. Harvey has money. They only own one. They don't own all the properties they used to have. They don't. It's all gone. Oh, you love swearing like a sailor. I do. I do swear like a sailor. But all that money's gone. So where's it coming from? He could live on a cruise ship for $8,000 a month pretty well. They had to have dwindled because he took out a home equity line of credit. That's why I'm asking. The condo is not paid off. It's a $600,000 mortgage on that condo. Now, when he bought it, it was 2022, so it's probably a 3% mortgage, but that's still a lot of money. Yep, it was 7 to 8 million, which is what Mary Hall said they had. Tight like a tiger. He sold the Adelson Institute in the house. Yeah, but that's what house in Tallahassee? The house in Tallahassee had a mortgage on it. They took a loss on the Truscott house. They didn't make any money on that. They took a $40,000 loss. The real estate investments, it's all gone. That's my point. They were mortgaged. They weren't scot-free. It's gone. You can't. If he took out a HELOC, he's hurting. That's what I think too, because a HELOC is not a fixed mortgage rate. It goes up and down like a credit card. No, it's all sold except for one. It's all sold. He does not have real estate anymore. He has one building, one. And it has a mortgage. What house are you talking about? What house, Rich Auntie? I don't know what house you mean. When you guys say things like, I don't know what you mean. Did he take a HELOC out for sure? Yes. It was in the court papers. It was announced at trial. He does have a mortgage. Like I showed you that. That paid for Charlie's appellate. They sold that house for Charlie's appellate. And it had a mortgage on it. Guys, man, people don't listen. The Coral Ridge they raised their house in, that's years ago. That was sold back in 15. Both houses sold. Both homes had a mortgage. He had his own $1 million attorney and his own appellate attorney. And that's an ongoing fee. They give a big retainer, right? But there's still fees, like hourly fees ongoing. He has a mortgage, now a HELOC, HOA, and taxes. Yeah, you can be frugal and still not have any money because you murdered people. I have no idea if they're paying child support. That is not something I can find out. She may not be getting any child support, which is another reason to go drinking. He has to be. I think they had already put money on that. They've had 3 trials. 1 trial for Charlie. I'm sure they helped pay for. The trial that didn't happen. Then they had Donna's. They had to, I don't even think they sold the business, the institute. I think it just was dissolved. I don't think it was sold. Mm-mm. Where will money to pay our attorneys come from? Oh, and I think that's the other thing. I think Harvey is spending big money for those grandchildren. Big. Wendy doesn't have it. George doesn't have it. He can't even finish his website. Okay. Let me show you his website just for something fun to look at, because it is a shit show. The WordPress website. This is George, aka Jorge. Orion DS means Orion Digital Services.ai. I found it tonight. Discover our approach. Whenever I see a shit show of a website, it's very bothersome. Who would trust this fool, right? Discover our approach. Click, click, click. It goes nowhere. A passion for solving complex problems. First of all, George, if you're watching, capitalize everything or nothing. This is ridiculous. This is not a sentence, okay? I'm going to be the grammar police today. A passion for solving, no. Complex should be down here. A passion for solving, and then complex challenges, George. And then our strategic C-suite executive. What C-suite executive is paying for this? This. I'm not done. Strategic AI implementation. AI wrote this. It's mismatched. This is too long. You're partner with consultants. Consultant. You are the consultant. You don't have anybody else who prioritize precision problem definition. You have a plural here. Partner with consultants who prioritize precise problem definition. This should be probably hyphenated over quick solutions, ensuring every engagement addresses fundamental challenges rather than surface problems. No, just cut this off. Cut that off, George. It doesn't even need to be there. Your organization deserves strategic partners, not just vendors. Experience systematic partnership development that creates collaborative relationships where external expertise becomes an extension of your internal. An ecosystem of transformation. Same thing. This should not be like this. This should be moved around. He's got the asterisks, then the check marks, then the message. Then the message is here, right? And then the message coming soon, the message, like it's Christ himself. It's capitalized message. The energy cost of AI generation content. Hello world, George. He hasn't touched this shit since July 14th, 2025. George. Get this. History. Click. Nothing. Careers. Goes back to the discover our approach. Terms. Privacy. You know how much fun I had with this today? Contact us. Facebook. What C-suite dude is going to trust him with this shit? Twitter X. He's a mid-level manager who's trying to pretend like he's bigwig. Look. Mm-hmm. That's his little logo. Oh my God. I'm almost embarrassed for him right there. That's the little logo. Goes right to the top. Don't design your own website, George. Spend the money. Do you really think Jorge believes Wendy? Yes, I do. Nothing to make you lose your money like paying for a high-cost losing case. Yeah, ask Kristen Adamson, Wendy's former attorney, how business is going. Ask Linda Bailey how business is going. Word on that street too, not good. Which makes me happy, by the way. A friend of mine called Linda Bailey for a consultation. $10,000. $10,000 before anything ever happened. And she can't get her teeth fixed. Jorge buys this whole conspiracy theory. Rich Auntie says, having been a consultant myself, I can honestly say that is word salad. They pay lousy lawyers and hitmen. What was his career when he was married to his wife? He worked for Amazon Web Services. Wendy getting arrested and only able to afford a public defender. Is Laura being paid or pro bono? Hard to say. Please leave George alone. He's trying to live his life. Wendy, I dragging another human down. No. No. When you're in bed with a murderer and you know it, and there's already been so many trials, no, he's not getting a pass. He's a grown man. He's older than her. Coming soon, the message. Wendy is getting arrested. Julia Nelson, the Adelson started with $8 million before the trials, paying out with nothing coming in. The money is dwindling very fast. Methinks Jillian is in the chat. Maybe the author of This Is Our Story proofread his website. Anyway, I just thought it was funny because it literally, this is ridiculous. It takes up the entire screen. And has nothing to do with this. Like, I hate stock photos. I truly do. I hate them. The message isn't even centered. Coming soon, the message. Oh, let's see what this says. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. By George. This is an interesting take. George. Now he just signs it G. Not just G, it's the Google G. Look at the G. It's the same as the Google G. Just seeing if anyone else liked it. Previous Hello World. Oh my God. He doesn't even know he has a website. Anyway, let's watch Periscope. I could rail against that freak all night long. Yeah, when you've gone to the trouble of allowing the murder victim's sons to use your name, when you've gone to the trouble of allowing this woman you're not married to use your name, not buying it. Not buying
Welcome to the Veroscope
it. Not buying it. So this is Veroscope. If you haven't seen it before, he analyzes using AI in linguistics analysis. So we're going to watch.
Of Wendy Adelson's emergency phone calls to her mother, which he did from the police station on the day of the murder when Dan Merkel was shot in the head twice. If you're new to the case, this is Wendy, and this is her mother, who has recently been convicted of the murder of Dan. And yesterday we did the analysis of her speech to the judge, which was quite a thing, and her husband's speech to the judge, where they were accusing the judge of being biased. They were accusing the jury of being biased. Listen to those; they are quite fascinating. This is the lady in question, Donna. So we're going to be listening to her daughter. Here is her daughter calling Donna from the police station, and we're going to be looking at the forensic linguistics and determining whether or not we see evidence that Wendy is involved in the crime, knew about the hit on her ex-husband, and is potentially the mastermind. So we're going to be running through all the different tells that she has and the deceptive patterns which we will show today. And if you stay to the end of the presentation, I think you'll agree with me that we have evidence that she is indeed involved and evidence that she was indeed the controller or the mastermind of the operation. So that's my opinion. Let's see what she has to say for herself.
Okay, here it goes. This is the worst day of my life. Maybe I should text them if I can't reach them. Hi, Mom. How's it going? Mom, I need you to sit down. I am fine. The boys are fine. I need you to sit down. I'm fine, and the boys are fine. Danny has been. You can put me on speaker. Yeah. Danny has been shot. And I don't think he's gonna make it. And so I know. So I found this out around 1 or 2 today, and I'm at the police station, and I'm trying to help them figure out who may have done this. The boys are fine. I had Lynn and Alan pick them up from school, and they're with Lynn and Alan right now. And I'm gonna leave here soon and go be with them. But I really need you to come here and be with me. But I want you to either fly, obviously you can't leave right now, but I need you to get yourself together. If it's too much to drive, I'd really rather that you flew up. I'm at the police station. and I'm gonna leave soon and be with the boys before they go to bed. They're with Alan and Lynn, and they're totally fine. Yeah, the boys are fine, but they don't know anything yet. In his house, I know. I know. So I just need you to calm down before you get in the car, okay? Okay, so, and it's, it's evening, so if you want to come here tomorrow, I have a lot of people that'll, be here with me, and, we'll have a lot of support. So I want you to take your time and just be safe in getting here, but I'd like you to come when you can, okay? Okay, all right. I love you. I think Jane might, I have the car here, but Jane might take me. I'm not gonna be alone, so I have a lot of support and I'll be fine. Yeah, if you could just come here, that would be great. He's in the ICU in the hospital. Okay, but be careful, okay? Okay. 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 Love you too. Bye. Mom. Oh.
You did awesome with that call.
Thanks.
You were so stressed out about it, and you handled it.
I just wanted you, I talked to Alan, okay? And just because, my suggestion to him, just because we don't know what's going on, was if he goes to the house.
Sorry, my mom might be calling back because she heard me. Mom? You did, yeah. I just wanted to ask if you could just tell Charlie for me. I just don't want to be making calls right now, so if you could just tell Charlie for me, that would be great. Okay, and just, like, it's on the news a little bit that there was a shooting on Trescott, and so I'm starting to get a lot of calls, and I'm not going to be answering them unless they're from you, so I would really try not to tell anybody what's going on just yet, just because, like, he's in the hospital, and Charlie, I talked to Charlie earlier today, obviously before any of this happened. Like, I talked to him at like 10 this morning, and he said that he was coming to visit you guys this weekend, and he had plans, and he sounded good. I just can't, Mom. So can you just tell him? Yeah, just tell him for me, and then I'm sure I'll talk to him soon. But I don't want to be on the phone unless I have to right now. Okay. Okay, all right. Love you too. Bye. My mom handled that pretty well. Could you hear her?
Yeah. I think, because you're a mama, but moms always go in that natural instinct to kind of protect and help. And
Okay, so let's analyze what she has said, and we'll break it down forensic linguistically. Just before we do that, you might have noticed that she touches her head at the moment of describing what's happened to Dan. And when she mentions Charlie, both times when she mentions Charlie, she starts to cover her mouth with her hand. But let's concentrate on the forensic linguistics rather than the body language. So what do we have as an executive summary? This forensic linguistic analysis, in my opinion, reveals multiple deception indicators and consciousness of guilt markers throughout Wendy Adelson's phone calls, the two of them, to her mother from the police station. The analysis identifies coded, in my opinion, communication patterns, priority inversions, and strategic information management consistent with prior knowledge and coordination with the convicted co-conspirators. So let's analyze how we came to that conclusion. The 5 most damning patterns, and then we'll go through her phone calls sentence by sentence. She uses the word tell. I think this shows her in control. I think this shows her command of the operation. Tell Charlie for me. Can you just tell him? Just tell him for me. She is ordering. She is commanding. It's firm and it is assertive. And bear in mind, this woman, Wendy, has been crying, shaking, shivering, hyperventilating, acting like she's an 11-year-old girl on purpose to invoke the paternal attitude in the detective. And yet here she is in command. And only once does she remember to pretend her little act, where her voice breaks a little bit. However, she's not asking, she is commanding, and in a genuine tragedy, a daughter seeks comfort from her mother. Here, Wendy issues directives. She's running the operation, she's managing communications, and she's controlling the narrative. This is the language of a person in charge. We also have a negative pattern. What I don't or won't do. I don't even know, I don't think, they don't know anything yet. Talking about the children. However, this is an interesting linguistic pattern. They don't know anything yet. I don't want to be making calls. I just can't right now. When we see a lot in the negative, in forensic linguistics and statement analysis as a principle, we see that as doubly important. Especially here, I don't think he's going to make it. So we put in a deceptive flag, noting that we've got a large amount in the negative. She says, obviously. This is a need to persuade. She says, I talked to Charlie earlier today, obviously, before any of this happened. Think about this. This is a need to persuade. It's a need for alibi.
Oh my God, I think you're right, Debbie. I didn't even think about that. Could you call Charlie? Did not even think about that. Left that hanging for years.
Her ex-husband has just been shot and she's talking to her mother. She's aware of the cameras and she's aware that she's being listened to. And if you noted at the end of the call, what's her priority? Could you hear? Could you hear what's being said? She's always fishing for intelligence. Analysis of this sentence. It's only obvious the call was before the murder if you're conscious there's an after to worry about. Obviously, I spoke to Charlie before the murder. Her consciousness of guilt brings out this word. Can you see? We wouldn't see this pattern unless the person had consciousness of guilt and needed to alibi themselves and Charlie. The word obviously reveals she's persuading us of Charlie's alibi and her own, in effect. She's answering an accusation that hasn't been made yet. We'll cover this later in section 9. This happened. Now, this is only important in conjunction with the entire sentence, but as a learning opportunity, when we see words like this versus that, this is psychologically closer. this pen rather than that pen. Do you see? So in conjunction with her alibi architecture in the sentence, and this happened, which is slightly passive anyway, we see this sentence as consciousness of guilt. So we have command of the operation and consciousness of guilt and alibi architecture very quickly in the call. We also have passive voice. Now remember, individual flags that we note when marking up a document in forensic linguistics don't mean anything per se. So we look for clusters of deception or deceptive markers or flags before we begin to say the statement in itself is deceptive. And then, of course, we can start to work out what parts and why. So here we have passive voice. So we put in a deceptive marker. Danny has been shot. There's no actor. It's the car seat was moved. The gun went off. Danny has been shot. There's no, Mum, someone shot Danny. That's that sort of innocent phraseology that we would expect to hear. Instead, we've got the commander imparting information unconsciously using passive voice for avoidance. It's concealment language when we see passive voice in this situation. People in the comments have said, is it the subconscious or the unconscious? Well, the area of the brain, which is mainly the broca, although there are some other areas partly responsible for language selection, but it's mainly the broca, that is unconscious. So we have 40,000 words approximately to choose from. If you're educated, perhaps a little bit more, perhaps a little bit less, but approximately 40,000 words. And at conversational speed that I'm talking to you now, I cannot pick the individual words. It's happening at the unconscious level, rapidly. So the words she picks are important. So the 5 patterns reveal command, control, coordination, and consciousness of guilt. We have the linguistic signature of, in my opinion, the actual mastermind, not the victim. The person who wanted her ex-husband dead and organized it with her family through manipulation and gaslighting, in my opinion. And I believe the linguistics back that up. So we have the selective brother, the most damning evidence. Only the guilty brother gets an alibi. I believe Wendy has 2 brothers. The other brother, who by the way was never charged and is innocent, he's not mentioned at all. There's no emotional state needed for him. No timeline required, no defensive positioning, no communication issues. He doesn't exist in this crisis in Wendy's mind. The convicted brother, Charlie, we have specific call of the time, 10 this morning. In this one phone call, or 2 phone calls actually to her mother, because her mother calls back. We have the emotional state. He sounded good. We have the weekend plans established. We have alibi architecture being produced on the phone call because she knows we're listening. Obviously, before any of this happened, it's unnecessary, and it's consciousness of guilt, and its need to persuade. We have all sorts of deceptive markers just in the one sentence. She says, I can't, she doesn't want to speak to her co-conspirator. I can't, Mum. I just can't. We also have cognitive overload, but that's all over the place with the stutters. So, this selective protection pattern reveals consciousness of guilt with surgical precision. You cannot get any more categoric than this and this. Innocent, guilty. The commander is only interested in her co-conspirator. Again, all of this is my opinion, and all of this is backed up with the evidence that I'm presenting. She knew who needed protection because she knew who was involved. An innocent person would either mention both brothers or neither, or the family as a whole. But she's very specific on the one call. And we'll look at the code, which I believe she uses, in a second. In emergency phone calls, the FBI have a number of aspects to indicate whether or not we have a truthful call. Now, this isn't a 911 call, but it's an emergency call of a type to her mother under this traumatic situation. Hi, Mum, how's it going? So we have a greeting violation. This isn't normal. Hi, Mum, how's it going? Oh, by the way, Dan's been shot. Wrong. So this is a violation of the FBI's rules, if you like, for how calls should go. Mum, I need you to sit down. I am fine. The boys are fine. I believe this was the prearranged code because they knew she was going to be in the police station, and they knew that she would make a phone call as soon as possible, and they knew that it would be probably being recorded or in front of officers. And we'll go into the evidence as to why I believe this is code in a second. I am fine, the boys are fine. And look at the priority. Hi, Mum, how's it going? Is the priority. Mum, I need you to sit down. I am fine, the boys are fine. So in genuine emergencies, callers will most often, again, remember, we put in the flags. Individual flags don't mean anything per se, so we look for the clusters. But here we have most callers would state the crisis. They don't ingratiate, and they don't ask, how's it going? The casual greeting is a profound violation of expected emergency communication patterns. Look at the order. I'm fine. What's her priority? What a narcissistic. And you can finish the sentence. Her first priority is, I am fine. Her second priority, the boys are fine. And her third priority, if at all, Danny has been shot. This is essentially communicating that the operation has been a success. The victim's shooting is mentioned third. The boys are fine. I believe this is coded communication. It's said so much. She's determined to get the communication nailed. I am fine, the boys are fine. The boys are fine. We also have cognitive load here. They're with Alan and Lynn, and they're totally fine. The boys are fine, but they don't know anything yet, and I think this could be possible leakage. The boys are fine. but they don't know anything yet. Can you see how this language doesn't sit right with me? The excessive repetition, particularly the stuttered version showing extreme cognitive stress. We have to take into account trauma. We have to balance things. She's in a police station. However, it's too extreme. The excessive repetition indicates this phrase carries coded meaning. Now consider, we've got two, her mother has just been convicted, given a life sentence without the possibility of parole, and two 30-year sentences on top of that to run concurrently. We are looking at code, operational code from the commander, in my opinion. Given the convictions of both recipients, including who's important to her in terms of priority, her brother Charlie, also convicted. This appears operational confirmation that the children are secured and the plan regarding them was executed, as was Dan. The Charlie focus, establishing alibis. And Charlie, I talked to Charlie earlier today, obviously, before any of this happened. Like, I talked to him, and here we have a deceptive marker, and also it's sensitive, so it's repeated twice. Normally we would mark this in pink to make it easy for us to see the sensitivity. I talked to him at like 10 this morning, so we have time. Obviously, before this happened. And he said that he was coming to visit you guys this weekend, and he had plans, and he sounded good. Obviously, before any of this happened, answering an unasked question. Like I talked to him at like 10 this morning, specific time for the alibi. And here we have the sensitivity repetition. He had plans, and he sounded good. We look at unnecessary detail, unnecessary language in statement analysis, and so we're seeing deception, and in would go the marker. Also, we look at cognitive overload, in goes the marker. Already we can see, and in statement analysis, we could determine that the statement in itself is deceptive.
That's a great point. Wendy said Harvey sat in the front window of her home with on the 19th with a gun. Where were the boys? Where were the boys when he's sitting there with a Luger? Dumb. He's so stupid.
Why this matters. The word obviously reveals consciousness of guilt. It's only obvious that the call was before the murder if you're thinking about establishing an alibi. An innocent person wouldn't think to establish Charlie's pre-murder timeline. Yeah, obviously, Mum. So the Charlie communication pattern provides a specific time, 10 this morning, establishes his normal plans, confirms his emotional state, but refuses, because she doesn't want to land herself in it any further than she already is, and I believe she's deeply in it. I just can't, Mum. And she only wants Mum to communicate with Charlie. Her other brother, her innocent brother, is removed entirely from the statement. It's not a coincidence. This is communication of the success of the operation to one of the other guilty people involved in the killing of Dan. And she needs that other guilty person to act as the intermediate for the message to the other co-conspirator. Location, section 4, location and monitoring awareness. Wendy repeatedly emphasizes, I'm at the police station. This is a warning. We're being monitored, recorded. This is why they will have pre-planned the coded communication. I'm where expected. Try not to tell anybody what's going on just yet. She's managing information flow. This is a woman who was pretending to be hyperventilating and 11 years old to the detective. But here we have operational control and managing information flow. Then at the end of the call, the performance review, I've called it. Wendy, my mum handled that pretty well. Could you hear her? She's constantly fishing to the advocate. She's manipulating the advocate. She's gaslighting the advocate. I believe earlier in the police interview, she's attempted to say that she has the same skirt. Aren't her eyes pretty? They're the same color blue as hers. You could be my sister. All this sort of manipulation going on. And then fish for intelligence, fish for intelligence, fish for intelligence. It's called elicit. It's actually a skill. Wendy shows a reasonable level of the skill. It's called elicitation for intelligence. And she's using practice technique to do that. Perhaps she learned it in her job as a lawyer, I don't know. But she uses elicitation skills against the advocate. Here is an example of that. She's not really interested in much, but apart from obtaining from the advocate her suspect status. And here, her priority after the phone call, could you hear her? In fact, if you can make out some of the call, please do say in the comments what you hear Donna say. That would be really interesting to further analyze. So we have critical consciousness of guilt. An innocent person's priority after informing their mother of a family tragedy would focus on the mother's emotional well-being. Mum handled that pretty well. Could you hear her? It's not her mother's emotional well-being. Her mother is a co-conspirator in the murder of Dan. It's the fact that she didn't give too much of the game away and handled the call like they'd planned. That's what she's really saying. The travel safety concerns. Be careful, she says, but it's not to do with the travel safety concerns. It's a message to the killer, to the organizer of the murder. Be careful. It's nothing to do with travel concerns. I mean, she played the grandmother part, didn't she, Donna? But don't forget, at the time of the killing, she was 64, something like that. I read in the comments, and living the good life. She wasn't an old granny. Okay. We also have distancing language. Around 1 or 2, slightly vague. At like 10 this morning, vague as well. But the precision about Charlie's call time versus the vagueness about learning of the shooting reveals what actually matters psychologically to Wendy. So let's see if we can determine what was said at the other end of the phone. But we do have missing elements, in my opinion. So the linguistic proof, boys are fine, children secured per plan. I'm at the police station, being questioned as expected. Charlie at 10 a.m., the alibi architecture. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't seen my earlier police interview analysis, do go back and look at those, because we see in the different sections, we see her alibi architecture being established, and then immediately preceding that, we see the suspect architecture being fed to the detective in a pre-planned way, from establishing her alibi at first to then feeding the suspects. And guess who she feeds as the suspects? Her brother and her mother, her entire family, and everyone she knows, including her lawyer. Highly manipulative, highly narcissistic, quite an incredible person, in fact. So, remember, we're going to talk about section 9, the obviously confession. The phrase obviously before any of this happened, she says. This is an embedded admission. It's only obvious the morning call was before if you're conscious there's an after to worry about. And let's bear in mind, Charlie is a convicted criminal now, as is her mother. This isn't guessing. This is communication with one of the convicted killers. I talked to Charlie this morning, obviously, before any of this happened. This, I believe, if the grand jury bring Wendy to trial and the prosecutor, who, if you know about, I've seen clips, she looks extremely good and talented. I believe if we dissect every part of the transcripts of the previous trials where she didn't have immunity, I believe that there is sufficient evidence to convict, in my opinion. So we have all sorts of things, from the coded repetitions to priority inversions to hi mum, how's it going? The alibi establishment, the performance awareness, the entire performance during the previous police questioning. Got information management, distancing language, missing emotional responses, the refusal pattern, won't call. She doesn't want to land herself in it more with one of the co-conspirators, the refusal pattern. So I think this forensic linguistic analysis reveals multiple overlapping indicators of prior knowledge of the murder, consciousness of guilt regarding family involvement, coded communication with convicted co-conspirators, active management of family responses under police observation, and strategic alibi creation for Charlie. The linguistic evidence, particularly when considered alongside the subsequent convictions of both core recipients, reveals a coordinated family response to an expected police investigation rather than genuine shock or unexpected strategy. That's the Veroscope analysis. Please, they were accused.
I want to listen to that again. I never caught that about Charlie. Ever. I'm so embarrassed.
Controller or the mastermind of the operation. So that's my opinion. Let's see what she has to say for herself.
Okay, here it goes. This is the worst day of my life. Maybe I should text them if I can't reach them. Hi, Mom. How's it going? Mom, I need you to sit down. I am fine. The boys are fine. I need you to sit down. I'm fine, and the boys are fine. Danny has been. You can put me on speaker. Yeah. Danny has been shot. And I don't think he's gonna make it. And so I know. So I found this out around 1 or 2 today, and I'm at the police station, and I'm trying to help them figure out who may have done this. The boys are fine. I had Lynn and Alan pick them up from school, and they're with Lynn and Alan right now. And I'm gonna leave here soon and go be with them. But I really need you to come here and be with me. But I want you to either fly, obviously you can't leave right now, but I need you to get yourself together. If it's too much to drive, I'd really rather that you flew up. I'm at the police station, and I'm gonna leave soon and be with the boys before they go to bed. They're with Alan and Lynn, and they're totally fine. Yeah, the boys are fine, but they don't know anything yet. In his house, I know. I know. So I just need you to calm down before you get in the car, okay? Okay, so, and it's, it's evening, so if you want to come here tomorrow, I have a lot of people that'll, be here with me, and, we'll have a lot of support. So I want you to take your time and just be safe in getting here, but I'd like you to come when you can, okay? Okay, all right. I love you. I think Jane might, I have the car here, but Jane might take me. I'm not gonna be alone, so I have a lot of support, and I'll be fine. Yeah, if you could just come here, that would be great. He's in the ICU in the hospital. Okay, but be careful, okay? Okay. 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 Love you too. Bye. Mom. Oh.
You did awesome with that call.
Thanks.
You were so stressed out about it, and you handled it.
I just wanted you, I talked to Alan, okay? And just because, my suggestion to him, just because we don't know what's going on, was if he goes to the house.
Sorry, my mom might be calling back because she heard me. Mom? You did, yeah. I just wanted to ask if you could just tell Charlie for me. I just don't want to be making calls right now, so if you could just tell Charlie for me, that would be great. Okay, and just, it's on the news a little bit that there was a shooting on Trescott, and so I'm starting to get a lot of calls, and I'm not going to be answering them unless they're from you, so I would really try not to tell anybody what's going on just yet, just because, he's in the hospital, and Charlie, I talked to Charlie earlier today, obviously before any of this happened. I talked to him at 10 this morning, and he said that he was coming to visit you guys this weekend, and he had plans, and he sounded good. I just can't, Mom. So can you just tell him? Yeah, just tell him for me, and then I'm sure I'll talk to him soon. But I don't want to be on the phone unless I have to right now. Okay. Okay. All right. Love you too. Bye. My mom handled that pretty well. Could you hear her?
Yeah.
I never got it. I never got it. I never got it. It was all code. Don't tell anyone. Charlie made sure I talked to him at 10, and then right at the end, did you hear my mom? Did you hear her? Did you hear her? Making sure she heard her. I've had to give horrible news a couple times. Usually I'm the one who gets the horrible news, not gives the horrible news. And I have to tell you, no one has ever said, "Are you sitting down?" Like, I say it in a funny way, but my daughter's had to call me and tell me people have died. No one, she's never said, "Are you sitting down?" She just blurts it out. Like, you're in an emotional state. Plus, she knows I'm not going to fall out either. When my sister called me to tell me my dad was actively dying and they couldn't get him out of the house, how he walked to the door, I don't even know. But she never said, "Are you sitting down?" She never said that. When the nurse called me to tell me my mother was dying, she never said, "Are you sitting down?" She just said, Patty Wilson, yes. Your mother's O2 stat is like 85. I was like, I started screaming at her. But I'm like, nobody did that. Yeah, normal people get to the point and don't use neuro linguistic programming techniques to deliver bad news. Wendy said she was concerned about her age. She would fall down. She was 64. 64 years old. She just turned 64. She was 64 in 3 months. So she was only, 6 years older than me right now. I don't know. But that at the end, making sure that the girl heard it. 64 with a trainer at the gym. True. That is not me. I'm fine. The kids are fine. We're already packed. What do you leave? Luggage packed all the time? Call Charlie, Mom. I talked to him this morning at 10. That is a very specific statement. Not, I talked to Charlie earlier. I talked to Charlie this morning at 10. Not 10:05. 10. George, you are in a pile of hurt, man. You are in a pile of hurt. Or be saving up for that commissary. Lord knows you're not spending it on a website designer. Charlie's in the recliner. I know. I never thought of that either. They've never mentioned that. Have they ever mentioned that? Where Charlie was located when Dan was shot? He is sleeping with a murderer, Roger. Welcome. Maybe. Hi, Mom. Is Dad there with you? I need to tell you something important. How does she know she talked to Charlie before all of this happened unless she knows when it happened? I talked to Charlie this morning at 10, obviously before all this happened, but you didn't know what time it happened. Right? She did. She's advocate woman, female, testified on Donna's behalf as sounding appropriate. Hey, squinting cat. No one should be fined, right? Even if it was an ex, he was shot in the face twice. It should have been devastating. You know, I showed more emotion when my kid's paternal grandmother passed away. It's my kid's paternal grandmother. I knew the woman for a long time, longer than that. Can you call Charlie? I never got it. Her behavior alone is very telling, Roger. She manipulated them all. Probably another tidbit reserved for Wendy's trial. Oh, she definitely won't testify in her trial. That's the last time we're going to see those dimples walking up that leg. Nope. I showed more emotion with my daycare parents dying and a grandparent, for fuck's sake, who had custody of her granddaughter. I used to visit her in palliative care. No family went, just me. I had more emotion at the funeral I went to 2 weeks ago when I had to do the reading. I only met the man twice, but I love his wife. His wife is just munchable. Obviously, before all this happened. When was she told the time? Oh, Debbie, you know this better than I do. He never told her the time, did he? Isom never told her the time. How many guys does she have sex with before she takes a shower? It's devastating to get your children through losing their father. I just watched a documentary about killers in prison and their lovers, spouses. There's something seriously wrong with people like Jorge. With all the people in the world to date, he chooses her. He's trying to save her. He couldn't save his wife. Couldn't save his wife. He's trying to save her. It's magnanimous, but yet diabolical. I showed more emotion every time our old cat brought up a headless chipmunk. Yeah, Rebecca's pissed that Harvey, yes, Harvey can walk very quickly. he beat us to the jelly. I bet George with the trademark Google G is living off Wendy. He's goofy. That website I built better. It's not even a real G. It's his Google's G. He just got here. Did I tell you guys that Wendy will not get arrested? I don't think it's going to happen. You didn't tell us, but I felt like it. God. Maybe the hair rat will testify in Jill's behalf. Wendy, with her Castigar consultation, shows guilt if you're innocent. You would not even care to find a Castigar attorney. Right? She wouldn't testify on her mother's behalf for the defense. All I know is I live here. I want a seat at that trial first because you won't be able to walk in any day. Every day will be packed. Every day we'll have an overflow room. The only trial we won't hear from is Wendy. She knew the time. I think she was there to make sure. Ain't gonna happen. They didn't do it last week. They ain't gonna do it. Cops only give out a little bit of info strategically. He's not good looking either, says Roger. I think he would be if he had his teeth fixed. He's not bad looking when he doesn't smile. Will get into a cop car? I agree. Who won't get into a cop car without knowing anything, without thinking, my hair is falling. Sorry. I would say, are my kids okay? Oh my God. Well, Isom did tell her that her kids were okay. Don't leave. She's referring to Jorge's website. It's bad, dude. It's bad. It's a bad site. Roger needs an orthodontist. Not Roger, Jorge. Remember, she told Georgia they're not going to arrest me. When Wendy said the news reported it occurred on Prescott, so people have started calling her. Well, Wendy, see, it's normal to ask what happened. That was her realtor, Lisa Carey. Wendy can star in Love Before Lockup. That's a good one. That's almost as good as, let me say it, Aided in a Murder Son. Aided in a Murder Son. That was Karen. Aided in a Murder Son. Wendy did not have to know the time to make that comment. Obviously, she said, because she spoke to Dan, so there's no way she spoke with him after the shooting. I asked a loved one to sit down over a long distance call while I was in shock. Felt right because knees buckle. I've witnessed it buckle. Just came out when I said I was about to break her. Didn't someone say a ways back? Oh, I don't know. That Jillian and Jorge met on a website for people who lost their spouses. I don't know. Magnanimous and diabolical. Showing my my adjectives, my adjective. What is it? Adjectival something skills or something. Do you think Jorge Estrada will be called in witness stand? Hell yeah. If they're not married, he will be. 100%. That's my point. Why would you do that? So I'm trying to hire a pet sitter. I have asked the pet sitters, as you would think I would, can you pass a background check? Then the next question is, what kind of background check? One that shows you have no criminal record. Some say yes, some say no. You're not coming in my house with a criminal record. I've been through that. It's not happening anymore. Jorge gives you the whole house. The whole house. You're an unindicted co-conspirator. He's giving you the kid, the daughter, the son, the house. That twat is not that good. Like, it's just not. I don't care if you're the nicest pet sitter in the world. We're not going to be there. You're not in my house. I'm not giving you the house. Right? It doesn't make any sense. He's giving her the house. Wendy needs to squat and cough. She has to be arrested. He chose to try and save the wrong woman of all the women who need saving. Laura won't be her defense attorney. I don't know. Has he ever tried a murder? No. He specializes in white collar. I'm looking. Hold on. I don't think so. It just says he's a resource for a white collar criminal defense attorney with extensive experience in fraud. That's what he's used to. I just don't think when they're ready, there won't be that much money left. Didn't Wendy have a lawyer as soon as the ride back? Yeah, that was that. What was his name? Jugger. Was it Juggers? No, I can't remember it, but it wasn't him. Jimmy. It was Jimmy something. When Wendy is in court, I'm on a plane from Australia as soon as possible. Patty, were you who? I have no idea. They weren't teens. That would be the first thing. They were in their 20s. They just look younger. They were law students, but we don't know who they are. We don't know who they are. Would all the wiretap evidence, would the outcome of the trial have been different? No. I think it would have been very different. I think you're right. She had extra house keys made before the murder. She told on herself during the police interview. Needs a wig. Does anyone in Tally not know about this case? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Very weird to me. She used a divorce attorney and then switched. I want to see what they pulled off of Charlie's iCloud. Didn't Tarakoa say they were able to pull everything from the WhatsApp on Charlie? Certainly will be packed. The entire nation is familiar with this case. Bye, tinfoil. Have a good night. Have a good night. Yeah, can you call Charlie but not Rob? The state isn't going to decide to arrest me. Wendy said prosecution won't arrest me, saying it with a giggle. Wanted, planned, and so excited, couldn't wait a day to find out, not an hour. Julia says she'll get arrested. Ooh, let's see the sorry, I was getting Twitter distracted. Let me see our poll. Wow. See our poll. It's me. Let's see. 62% say 2025. 26% say 2026. And 12% say never. Jorge should have met Wendy sooner. HA and CA could have done something about those teeth. That laugh made my back crack. Nope, she never went to the hospital. She pseudo offered, right? She pseudo offered. Jodi Arias made that statement. Wendy tried to act like the widow. Wendy's blinking eyes are disgusting. She didn't call Dan back after 11, if I remember right. Wendy was asked if her mom hated Dan. She asked in 216, duh, no, in 214, you complete idiot. She didn't lose her spouse. They were divorced. Wendy saw the crime scene tape, then got into the cop car and still pretended she was shocked. Police checked. I thought Jorge's father introduced them. I don't think so. Jorge's father doesn't live in Florida. You're thinking Michael Fernandez. They're separate Latinos. Can they get George for harboring a solicitor murder? FBI fingerprint background is best. Katie is the one who took the money and didn't pass to SIG for 200 days. Her bank records show that. My sister dropped to the floor. She was 12 when my mother died. She was listening to the call from my father and me. Your husband just came in and said, Patty hates Wendy so much and will say so. That's why I like her. I mean, I do. I hate someone I've never met other than in a hallway. Not the same George. No, it's not. Unless you use his last name. Yeah, he did. He does. Wendy will get Jose Baez. He's still busy. Wendy Estrada knows how fucked she is from that police interview. That's why Donna's Wendy. She told Georgia that she was nervous, so she just kept talking and talking because she was nervous. In the words of Austin Powers, I bet she shags like a minx. Ugh. Hire Rashi? A lot of people think that, net detective. A lot of people have mentioned it to me. A Loro trial would be $4 million. Oh, easily $4 million. They don't have it. Barbara, Wendy should hire Alan Jackson. He's good at getting murderers off. He's working on that kid who ran over in that car accident, killed those kids. Dan's son's money cannot be used for her legal fees. Laura likes rich people with hidden money. Jimmy Jenkins. Thank you, Leslie. I know it was Jimmy. I know it was Jimmy Duggar. What the hell I was thinking. She got those keys made. She knew someone had to pick up the boys after the scheduled murder. Wendy testified that she and Dan were not acrimonious at the time. Why didn't she insist on going to see him on the hospital before anything else? Just college students' first time in court. That's referring to those two kids. If they're so smart, why didn't they hire real criminal attorneys? I have no idea. I would love to have known the back conversation and how Fulford got involved. Wendy's delusional. Well, I felt something bad. My soulmate, I called his mom. She responded how sorry she was. And in my shock, I kept saying, you have to be kidding me. You know, when people hear something like truly traumatic, it's an autonomic response. This is not an autonomic response. We'll let you know when Wendy's arrested. Hey, Mona. Your dreams are accurate, and I dreamt she got arrested. Most lawyers on a podcast say she'll be arrested. Save those results, Patty. All right, I will. Let me screenshot it. Someone said, what did they say? She won't get arrested till after Hanukkah, Christmas. No time like now. You vote for Halloween. You know, that, what is it, Rebecca, that Capital Conservatives? Their dinner is what? It's not the Young Republic. It's Capital Conservative. Their next dinner, I think, is November, and Georgia's supposed to speak. It won't be before then. Right? Is this it? Oh, it's not it. Capital Conservatives Club. Oh my gosh. Is this Tallahassee? No, it's not. Here it is. I was following the wrong one. She's supposed to speak in November. She said, so let's see. Other meeting, October 21st. I don't know who's speaking. Oh, Priscilla West is speaking. So think like, I guess before Thanksgiving, but she won't, it won't happen. I mean, she's not going to go speaking anywhere as soon as Wendy's arrested and say, I can't talk about it. I'd love to see her be in the clink by the holidays, but it'll stick for her legal team and for her, and she appears to deserve nothing but pain. It's this week. So November, whenever that November meeting is, right? I'm back home. I'm currently working on funny yet bizarre video of Donna Ria's sentencing. Well, I'm going to go because it's 11:14. Tomorrow's a work day. Thank you guys so much for following and watching and hanging with us. Wendy should be arrested soon so she spends Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year. Yeah, because I don't know if anyone knows this. George is not Jewish. So I hear he's a person who attends church, not a Jewish church. So she would be celebrating Christmas, which is fun. And thanks, Debbie. That was very insightful. That was a good comment. Comment of the night for sure. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Let me thank people. Thank you, True Crime Warrior Fee. 14 months. Gonna watch on replay. Thank you, dear. And my humble opinion is a new member. Yay. Thank you guys so much. I'm leaving the office now. Have a great night, Jill. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.